Hello everyone, hope you're all having a good day. Today I wanted to talk about the book Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. I'm talking about this book today because the mods that I chose for my essay were related around time, and this book in particular has had a profound effect on my life after reading this, and I'm always thinking about it, and I'm always like thinking about like why the characters did what they did and like why the story was structured in the way that it was structured. But just to give you like a basic summary, there's this man named Charlie Gordon, and he is born with a considerably low IQ, like 65. This is considered at the time at least mentally retarded, and the way that the book is documented is through journal entries, through his journal entries. So we're able to see what he is thinking and experiencing as he's thinking and experiencing it. Um, and what we initially see is that, of course, he's incredibly simple-minded, like far beyond what I thought going into the book. It's insane just how illiterate and just unable he is to comprehend his surroundings or those around him. But what ends up happening is that he joins a program where they raise his IQ, and his they just don't simply raise his IQ, it starts to continuously raise. It's always raising, it's exponentially raising. And by its peak, he is able to comprehend these complex and inhuman things. And at this point in the story, it's very apparent that we're covering topics of morality, humanity, um, existentialism, like what it means to be human on the inside. Because at this point in the story, the main character, being as at such a high level he's comprehending and considering things nobody has before, and he's taking apart his life that was so simple before and just like scanning it out for all it is and like really trying to see if he has any value in his life. And as a reader, that like impacted me in such a way because I never really had a character where I was able to experience such things. And it was hard to read it because as you continue on through the book, it's apparent that he's actually losing his intelligence. And we see him come to terms with this, or I think that would be incorrect to say. He never really comes to terms with it, but he registers it, but then he moves forward with it. He understands that, yes, I'm going to go back to the lower level that I was. I may lose like myself or just like whoever I am now, but I'm going to make something of it. So he writes an entire thesis in an attempt to try to help people like him, to help better himself. And near the end of the book, it gets particularly soul crushing. He he starts trying to reason with whatever force has given him this ability to think, to not take it away from him. So maybe he could like stay himself because he truly believes if he were to lose his intelligence, he would no longer be himself. He would be who he was before, who isn't him anymore. He just those are two completely separate people. Just the gap in intelligence literally made him a separate person, and it was particularly difficult reading that bit because it was the way that the author wrote it was so heart wrenching. You could feel the terror as like his intelligence was just being ripped away from him, and he was just losing himself and losing everything around him because he just couldn't hold up with it anymore. And I just it's always stuck with me, and it always helps me think more about those around me and my own intelligence and how I want to use that with the world, and like that I'm blessed to have it, and that I should, have some sort of effect on others rather than just keeping it sort of to myself. I need to give it away for people so I could better others' lives rather than just bettering my own. But I hope you were able to gain some sort of anything out of all that little rant bit. But I hope you all have a good day, and goodbye. Thanks for listening.